Good afternoon, everyone. Just a few things here at the top. We'll get right to your questions. And finally, throughout his tenure, Secretary Austin has prioritized the development and rapid fielding of capabilities to counter the urgent and growing threat posed by unmanned systems. This week, the Secretary signed a classified strategy for countering unmanned systems to unify the Department's approach to countering these systems that looks across domains, characteristics, and timeframes. Unmanned systems, more commonly known as drones, have the potential to pose both an urgent and enduring threat to U.S. personnel, facilities, and assets overseas, and increasingly in the U.S. homeland. As you know, the threats presented by these systems are changing how wars are fought. With this singular strategy for countering unmanned systems, in conjunction with other major DoD initiatives like the Joint Counter Small UAS Office and Replicator 2, the DoD is orienting around a common understanding of the challenge and a comprehensive approach to addressing it. And with that, I'm happy to take your questions. We'll start with AP Lita.
You talked about this new classified strategy, and you had talked before about that there were some incursions, particularly down in Virginia, over military facilities, and there's been others. Is there anything in the strategy that's more tactical that allows commanders to do anything, or is this just a broad statement of policy?
Of course, it's got all kinds of good information, but it's classified, so I can't talk about it. No. So really, Lita, again, recognizing that the strategy is classified, we will have an unclassified fact sheet that we'll be providing soon. Really, just kind of looking at how we'll approach this. One is ensuring that the department is prepared to conduct counter unmanned system operations, counter UAS operations. Two is looking at how we respond to incidents that do occur by pulling together subject matter experts and resources. And then third is tracking equipment and counter UAS equipment, UAS, one aspect of drones. So really, again, broad brush. It's kind of looking at this in a comprehensive and cohesive way. Again, I'm not going to go into the specific tactics, techniques, procedures at this point, but it enables the department to approach this in a way, again, that's comprehensive, cohesive, and holistic. Brandy. No.
Thank you, Pat. On the new counter unmanned strategy, how long was that in the making, and was it prompted by the sort of recent increasing reports of incursions over U.S. military bases, both abroad and in the States?
Thanks, Brandy. I don't have a specific time frame to give you other than to say that this has been, I'm confident that this has been work that's been going on for some time. I mean, if you go, you've been following this very closely. You know the impact that drones have had on the battlefield. This is not necessarily a new thing, but what we're seeing is the way that drones are being applied, the impact of how they're being used is something that, again, we can't just deal with ad hoc. We need to do this in a comprehensive, cohesive manner. And so that's really what this strategy does. Is it essentially enables the department to look across the entire department and our interagency partners how we can best work together to address this. So to answer your question, no, this is not a response to recent events. This is work that's been going on for some time and obviously very important work.
Do you have any new information about progress that's been made between the U.S. and U.K. militaries getting to the bottom of those previous incursions, and have there been any more?
Yeah, I don't have any updates to pass along from the podium here, Brandy. I'd recommend you call U.S. Air Forces in Europe or the U.K. Ministry of Defense. Thanks. All right, Howard from the War Zone.
Hey, thanks. In a completely different vein, I wanted to ask you about NGAD, and can you tell me why the program was punted over to the Trump administration? And also, are there any other big programs on the chopping block, like maybe Sentinel or Replicator?
I'm sorry, which program were you saying was punted to the Trump administration?
Program or Replicator?
Well, Howard, I'm not going to talk or speculate about the future. I mean, as you know, the Department of Defense our mission is to defend the country, and that doesn't necessarily mean that we're putting time limits on the things that we do. And so, unmanned systems, drones, are going to be something, again, that we will need to take a holistic, comprehensive approach to addressing for all the reasons that as you see playing out in places like Ukraine and other areas of the world. So the Department of Defense is administration agnostic in that regard, and that our focus is on defending the country. Again, I won't speculate on what future administrations may do, but I can be very confident in saying that we'll do everything we need to do to defend this country. Thank you. Take a couple more here. You go to Noah, and then we'll go to Jared.
Just to start out with a couple cleanup questions. You said soon on a fact sheet releasing about the new strategy. When is soon?
Hopefully today.